shoot, I said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait, gun kick back, now grannies from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's the man with king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game and shoot, I said that you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Said what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
What's a man or a king? In response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game and shoot, I said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That flash making a portrait, gun kick back, now grannies from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? In response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You from the game and shoot, I said that you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News on this incredible moon day. See what I did right there? I want to welcome you back to the show. And I want to welcome Eric Von Eric back to the show. I salute you, soldier. First one in the door. Can we ask for more? Jesse Darby, what's good? General, do you think that Xbox is going to turn around and put a sale on these boxes too? Only time will tell, brother. Only time will tell. Because at the end of the day, I can't predict what they're doing any longer. As you seen on this weekend's Iron Lord show, I had to give up the props. Paul, what's good? I had to give up. I had to give Xbox its props. Asha Sharma, her team, and the unpredictable nature in which Xbox is moving has me off my Dean. Honestly, seriously. I mean, I've tried to figure out what they're up to next. But as we're getting closer to June, with this month being a week done and going into the month of May, as soon as May is finished, we automatically jump to Summer Games Fest and the June show. With the June show being probably one of the most important shows and I think we've been saying this for a while. In Xbox, we can't say Xbox history, because I think the importance of this show rests squarely on the shoulders of Asha. Phil has dominated June. And that's Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, first of his name. And we knew what June would be with the lineup that they have available, with the games that they have in tuck. But we've also watched PlayStation act like June is an afterthought when it's supposed to be our Super Bowl. Nintendo treats it as such, as a Super Bowl, where you get some of the biggest, brightest announcements in the industry. Now, if anybody got a chance to watch the Second Wind showcase that happened, I think it was yesterday or today, it popped up on my timeline. Now, it's mainly Steam games that had 80 games to show. And if you guys are interested in something like that, let me know. I will do a watch of it if y'all are into that. All right, so leave a comment below and let me know if that you're into that. Because if you're into it, then I'll take 2 hours, because it's a 2-hour show. I'll take 2 hours out of my time and we can react to it together. I only saw one game. I think it was like Internal Abyss. It looked like Returnal or Soros, but first person. And the game looked pretty decent. But with us getting closer to the June showcase, we do have a show in May that's going to lead us into June. And then you have the June show, then you have July, and then you have the August, which is Gamescom, with the September show and the October show rolling into the November show and closing out the year with a December show. Now, the November show, more than likely, October show is going to be the TGS show, the Japanese show. So Xbox is pretty much slated for the whole year in bringing you content, deliverables, and keeping your content flowing. Like I said yesterday on Iron Lord's show, yes, I'm the vessel in which content creation can be made, be it for nefarious reasons or be it for bountiful reasons. But regardless to what, as a creative, I understand that giving to this medium, which is the digital world, we release that to you guys to make content. So to do it as y'all wilt. But at the end of the day, this can only be possible by having content driven to us through Xbox, because PlayStation gives us nothing. We get doom and gloom from them, and the media acts like nothing's going wrong. With May 8th closely upon us, with the financials and the direction of what Sony is doing has to be revealed on that day, we will have a clearer picture of how dire it truly is. Now, I've seen somebody say that they can get extra investors and shore up more people in the Asian market to help rescind some of the descending into the abyss. I don't believe so. I don't believe a wounded duck is going to get any help from the wolves. But I do believe PlayStation has an exit strategy. I believe the exit strategy with PlayStation has everything to do with the Netflix deal, the TCL deal, and the willingness to splinter the company in order for survival. So we're going to get a chance to see that. Now, we have some polarizing stuff that's going along right now. Some people are absolutely at odds with Soros, and some people are in favor of Soros, with a lot of the review scores being high. Now, I knew this when we were doing the publisher of the year thing with lordsofgaming.net, right? And with doing it, I understood that Xbox was going to get the short end of the stick, with PlayStation themselves being helped out by the industry. So Soros is one of my picks, and I was absolutely right. So we're here now, knowing that today is the Pikachu show. Pikachu, Pika Pika. And at the end of this show, I'm going to start up the Nintendo Switch 2 and throw on my Pikachu costume, and we're going to switch into the Pikachu hour. So I got to say, what's up to Emmanuel? What's good? Lamont, what's going on? Ron, what's good? Helvis, Paulie Baba, Be Nice, Mr. Kima. Wow, Mr. Kima, what's good? You said TGS has been always held in September, October, but I think they're going to give the show in October. Remember, I was at TGS last year. I know when it's held. Oh, so y'all need their reaction video. What up, Dom? Dom Juan. Yeah. Like, I'm told that they got a show every month, right? So Me looking at the tea leaves, breaking down whatever the shows could be. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be ID and Xbox purely stuff, or is it going to be first party stuff, or is it going to be third party? I have no idea. Nor do I really care in the grand scheme of things. All I like is give me constant information so I can have that information and brought that information back to you guys. And then I could just start looking and seeing where they are, because pretty much we already had our roadmap, or whatever the roadmap was. Right? That was good. The roadmap changed. And as a content creator, well, I'll be on Boom Show. I think it's Thursday this week. So look for me on Boom Show this week. As a content creator, and what is it? A part-time / full-time console warrior, which is funny. It's funny. It's funny when people get upset when you show your fandom. That's the funny part. But this is the most exciting time ever, right? When it comes to video games. And let me explain why. Because these big companies want to lie to you and tell you that, oh, it's because of RAM prices and all this other stuff is why they're being hesitant in giving you prices. We're going to get into Xbox and Asha talking about that part. Don't trust me. I give same energy across the boards. But knowing that it plays a minor part in the grand scheme of things, because subsidizations from a $4 trillion company can be had. But knowing their ambitions and the level of greed in the corporate institution, well, I always bet on the greed part overriding any type of consumer friendliness. Now, this is where it flips on its head. Asha has put the consumer first. That's a conundrum. Now, and on the surface, when we look at Game Pass and we look at Game Pass being dropped down, well, the reason why I say Game Pass is being dropped down in price is because I'm a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber. Not saying that the entry level of Game Pass has changed in any form, and the PC level of Game Pass did change. So for the tiers that did change in price, you got to look at what was removed from it, the level of value. If you looked at it and you said Call of Duty is Call of Duty worth $7? Because they didn't go back to $19.99. They went to $22. So they didn't replace and repeal it back to the initial and remove what they put in. They kept what they put in, but they took out the most valuable jewel of whatever said package was, right? Because if you look at it and you say Call of Duty is worth $10 a month inside Game Pass, that, you know, the big package, which is $100 or whatever, let's say $70. Let's say it's worth 70, so 7 months. I don't see that value being put back, right? Now, especially for those people that don't care for Fortnite. So technically, you lowered the price from $30, but raised the price $3 from the $19. So looking at that aspect of it, was their balance in the force? No, I don't think it was balance in the force. I think they have a lot more to do in order to win back favor when it comes to us as consumers. And in doing that, part of winning back fans, part of doing that, a lot of that is bending over backwards to show that you believe in the product, that you believe in the brand, that you believe that exclusivities could be a thing. But let me explain how they start to rebuild your trust. What's the best day for you? Some may say when they wake up, right? But others may say the day that they celebrated the most. Now, this could be a terrible day for you, or it could be a good day for you. But if you're an Xbox fan, the day that you were born is a celebration now. It's worth noted. Peace and blessings. Snippy, what's good? Peace and blessings. Ray Chiller, what's good? Legendary Intel, what's good? Xbox fans share their birthday gift point rewards following last week's new feature. They said, now he said he's a little confused. He's not going to lie. Last week, you may recall that they highlighted a new birthday gift addition to Xbox Reward program that had been officially released on Monday, and one that leads designers confirming is a brand new feature. Now, this is the breakdown of it. Well, through the course of the day, we've been bumping into a few examples of Xbox birthday gift rewards that have been showing up unexpectedly in some cases, with players being rewarded even though their birthdays was quite some time ago. Now, I don't know if it's retroactive. I don't know how it's happening. I don't know what the algorithm is doing, but the algorithm seems to be giving out birthday gifts for individuals if your birthday is in close proximity, if it's that day, if it's that week, it's whatever. But some acknowledgement of your born day and the Xbox algorithm is fostering some type of euphoric endorphin-induced thing when you look at your app. The rewards seem to be from anything from a few hundred Microsoft reward points to a few thousand. And an Xbox employee, Brenda Duff, has since clarified that the birthday gift is solely based on the making purchases on the Xbox Microsoft Store during your birthday week. You get 2 times the reward points for any game or add-on you buy, and you can claim those points the following week. Now, that's crazy within itself, because most things and most times in life, what we do is we treat ourselves. And in our hobby, especially if you're well into the hobby, or you have family members that see that you're into this hobby, they give you gift cards. And you take those gift cards and you buy your game, or you buy your add-ons, you buy your stuff. And to think that you get double the reward points during that period of time and you cash them in is a strategic stroke of genius. And this is, here's some of the examples of what they've been coming across so far. I don't want to click it because it's going to go inside Reddit, but they earned 3,430 points. That's huge in a points gifting. My birthday is September, but sure, I would accept this birthday gift today. Thanks, Microsoft Rewards. His balance is up. He got a Game Pass monthly pack. I don't want to click on it. All right, here we go. Here's a good one. The birthday gift is 2,798 points. Wow. With Game Pass weekly streak, which, you play. Apparently, I got my birthday gift points months after my recent birthday. And a lot of people, and so on and so on and so on. As you can see, there's a lot of confusion here about why Xbox users are getting birthday gifts, even though their birthdays were ages ago. But we assume it's because they being backdated based on the purchases at the time. In other words, if you brought anything on Xbox Store or Microsoft Store during the week of over the past 12 months of your birthday, you might have a gift waiting for you. It's worth checking out anyway. Go to your Xbox Reward Hub on your console by pressing the guide button, scrolling to your profile icon, selecting your profile, and then choosing My Rewards. If you see there's any points waiting to be redeemed and you checked it, they're classed as a birthday gift. If any of you guys have received any of this birthday gift, it's great to let me know. I'm on my app. I told you I play Jules every day. I'm playing it so much, like yesterday when I was on the show, I played it for hours because it gives my mind some busy work. Solving puzzles and doing that stuff keeps your mind sharp while you're doing other things, multitasking. Now, the thought of exclusivity when it comes to Xbox, I see I'm triggering a lot of people online. Well, Xbox didn't say that it's a fact that they were moving games off. They said they will evaluate it, King. Yet now you're lying. Lying about what? I put a gif of Michael Jackson moonwalking, and I said Xbox walking out of the deals or the contracts. are placing their games in other places. Then I put another GIF up of Michael Jackson eating popcorn, saying, watching people crash out over Michael Jackson winning. If you didn't know, then I went to go see the Michael Jackson biopic this weekend, which I felt was really, really good. I thought Jafar did a fantastic job. He imitated his uncle to perfection. Of course, there's no way to truly emulate the greatest, but he did such a good approximation of what Michael Jackson is that it was jarring at times, because I got a chance to see that in real life when it was happening. So seeing it and how my memory is working, I'm looking like, wow, this is absolutely incredible. But again, it lets you know during your time, you had something special and you was witnessing some of the greatest stuff happening. I got a chance to witness some of the greatest times that we've ever had. And it's a great time to be alive now with the movies. Like this year alone, we have a new Spider-Man, be it animation, be it live action. We have He-Man, we have Street Fighter, we have Mortal Kombat, and we're ending it on a new Avengers movie. So again, childhood life pushed forward into this life is incredible. But exclusivities is the word that triggers them the most. It triggers on both sides. It triggers on Xbox sides. It triggers on PlayStation sides. Why? Because when it comes to exclusivity, that's brand identity. Now, for a long time, as an Xbox guy, we were forced, because this is not something I don't think any Xbox guy really wanted to see any Xbox game on a PlayStation platform, to be real with you. But we were forced because we don't own the company. We're not sitting in the boardroom. And we play a game. If you're on Twitter, if you're in this toxic street and you're being toxic and you're having fun, well, you understand that day, the day that they said they was going to send 4 games over, well, kind of took a lot of wind out of your sails. And they kind of left you as a sitting duck out there to defend yourself. Why? Because you started to identify with the console and they identify with their console. So that's how the console wars go. You win some, you lose some. And it's all in good fun. But one of the games that went over, not the 4 games, because 4 was just a prelude to more. Anytime they say just this, it's kind of like somebody saying just the tip. You know it's BS. And you know where they're going with it. So, one of the games that went over there was an ungodly success. And I think that level of success is what's clouding Xbox's mind. With Forza Horizon 5 hitting 5 million copies on the PlayStation, well, its levels are like this that forces shareholders to have a say. That forces Satya to say, well, see, that exclusivity stuff is stupid. There was money to be had. There was money to be made. It forces Amy Hood to say, see, you can achieve a bottom line of this based upon this. See, these metrics are illusionary at best, where you have only 2% of the games that you send over there seeing this level of success, while the 80% fail to meet any return on investment that you placed out there. Now, this is brought to you by the Comic Book and Tyler Fresher. Xbox game officially hit on PlayStation 5. It sold 5 million copies. Now, Xbox game is officially an undeniable hit on the PlayStation 5 after it's been confirmed that it has sold over 5 million copies on the PlayStation console. Considering when the Xbox game came to PlayStation 5 4 years ago after its initial release, Xbox Series X and S on the PC, it shot back up the charts and was the second best-selling game in April of 2025. This isn't exactly surprising. In fact, the Xbox Series X and PC, it had sold over 20 million. It had over 20 million players in its launch year. So it's a very popular game. But to sell 5 million copies more than 4 years after its initial release is a net positive. Do you understand where I go with this? What do you say? What do you say to a shareholder or a higher up when you say that you want to do exclusivity? You want to lock it onto your ecosystem. But then you have a case study like this that shows that there was 5 million copies that could have been sold after 4 years to 5 years of the game already being out. That it didn't have anything to do with missing a zeitgeist. That it had everything to do with the right game will always garner this type of reaction, with Forza Horizon 5 outselling some of the best PlayStation games. Oh, yes. Let's listen to Olivia talk.
At Legendary Intel donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Game Pass is still great. Hashtag NOP6.
Hashtag no PlayStation 6. Blessings. It is. Game Pass is still great, but at the end of the day, it has to evolve into what its final form would be. It's like a Pokemon. You know, right now it is going through its battles and it is getting battle hardened. And sometimes you notice in Pokemon, sometimes you got to take away some moves in order to add some moves. And that's the life and metaphor that my brain is at right now, because today is Pokemon Day, if you didn't know. But yeah, Game Pass is getting better with the tweaks and twerks that they have to do, you know, with Discord and that tier and stuff like that. They have to make it great. It has to grow. In order for it to grow, that's the bigger problem. The bigger problem is trying to figure out past the stagnation to the retention area, the retention of the high 80%. If that is retained, then maintaining Game Pass is simple science. Then you don't have the questions of what you drop inside of it. But getting back to games selling on a competing platform in high volume, they will overlook, the shareholders will overlook blessings. Let's go. Let's listen to the lovely Olivia talk.
At Cypher045 donated €11 through Super Chat. Dropping war bonds for the front line.
I salute you, soldier. Thank you, Cypher. You know, Xbox has a lot to do when it's fostering and fixing the brand. How do you fix the brand? If you were in charge, how would you fix the brand? Would you fix the brand with being a console warrior and removing your games off of the competing service platform? Delisting them? Eventually, you're going to hurt the shareholders. Eventually, you're going to hurt the brand in doing so. In making these people feel satiated, comforted, and wanted because they were alienated. The people that you set off over here, the pipeline in which you made cash over here, is going to die out if you do so. But then you have people that you're beholden to, shareholders, publicly traded companies, move in a manner that is dictated by the dollars coming in. Now, I know a lot of you guys saw that Microsoft, when it came to AI, said the contract with OpenAI will not have anything to do with exclusivity, which was funny. I explained on this channel before that Microsoft has been in dealings with Anthropic and other AI companies a lot of startup younger companies buying a lot of AI companies and removing OpenAI from access to Bing, which was OpenAI's biggest crutch. Oh, I salute you. I love that alien. But I love Olivia more. She sound dope, don't she?
At Brerius 507 donated $20 through Super Chat. Told you I was coming. Cog would have been scrapping and scrambling for a way out because of my answer. When he said about the pulling XP games of Ps, like PS did it with Wukong Stellar Blade Final Fantasy VII Cog.
Right. Yo, listen, I'm not saying that you were wrong, Barris. I'm telling you that you were absolutely right. Do you know a lot of times PlayStation, a lot of these games were slated to come out to Xbox, and then PlayStation at the last minute comes in and swoops in and does a deal, and then the logo is removed away from the Xbox platform, and we get to wait for a game like Black Myth Wukong or Final Fantasy VII and other games of its ilk, and these games finally come to the Xbox platform at some form of time. But you had Stellar Blade as well. A lot of these games were slated for Xbox. And PlayStation did what PlayStation does. But the former regime would just take it on the chin and keep it moving and said this is business as usual. This current regime, I don't think lives like that, thinks like that, breathes like that, walks like that, talks like that. I think this current regime is in an aggressive posture with trying to understand everything that's happening. Because again, they're not new to this space. They've been true to this space from the beginning. But what they're learning is how to navigate in this space. And I'm talking about Asha and her team. But at the same time, she wants to be as impactful as possible. So again, taking some of the tactics that Barris is bringing up may benefit her in the future. But what does it look like for shareholders? You have to walk that tightrope. You have to walk that fine line. You have to make sure that the core people are satiated while at the same time maintaining stability with the shareholders while galvanizing the outside crowd to show that your platform is more enticing than the platform that they're currently in. That is a tightrope. But on the way of walking that tightrope, we get gems like this. Xbox Wire. And this is brought to you by William Fulton. Xbox Summer Games Fest Play Days 2026. Meet the developers of this year's featured games. Now, this year at Summer Games Fest, Xbox is having a fan fest, right? And what's up, Live Supremacy? And Xbox Fan Fest means a lot to the fans. If you don't know, it's a staple of going to California, getting with our content creators, making content. I'm going to make content every day. You know that. I bring that back to you guys. What I seen, what's going on, what I'm not under NDA about, any videos I can throw up, any backgrounds. And then I gather information based upon you guys. I tell you guys to actively tell me what games you want me to go see, get, and talk about, find out more to bring that to you. Why? Because if you can't make it, I make it there for you. That's my deal with you guys. You give me your time, I give you my time back. And my time is when I'm out there, I'm working hard to bring those back to you guys. And it's very important. It's very important for you. It's very important for me. But what's also important is knowing what games are going to be there so you can have a direction on how to go. Now, we're ready, booked up Summer Games Fest games for the whole weekend. I know a lot of the games that's going to be announced that we got interviews for at Iron Lords. So doing that, and I'll be out there with my Xbox Frontline shirts, Iron Lord shirts. You know how we move. But in doing so, Xbox is letting us know, the developers, is going to be there. So spring is in there, which means Summer Game Fest is right around the corner. And this year, Xbox has assembled a phenomenal crew of developers all over the world, from Sacramento to Kharkov, and eager to share their works at the Summer Games Fest. Now, Grounded 2. And they say, describe your gameplay demo. They're going to have a demo there for you to play. It's a 4-player multiplayer co-op battle against King Dozer, the new lizard boss from the latest Beat the Heat spring update. They have a lizard boss? I got to go back in. Oh, Animo. This is what I'm interested in, right? What up, Magnum Force? Animal is the next generation creature catching open world game full of original creatures called Animal. You can explore the world as a human pathfinder or transform into any animal by twinning with them, totally changing your perspective in battles and exploration. The world of Idel is full of mysteries, but your animal will help you to solve these unique. Collect animals, twine with them, unleash their powers, and see how the world reacts. I've been waiting for this game. I want to know more about this game. Trust me, I'm interested. Yeah, look at the little bear. He looks all evil in the face. I like this. This one looked like he could just do bad things with his friends, but I'm down for that little red bear. All right. Oh, Grave Seasons. I'm interested in this as well. Describe your game demo. So these are game demos that we're going to get a chance to play. If you want any footage of anything that you see here, you let me know so I can take dual note of that, so I can make sure that game footage is captured, done, and brought back to you. Grave Season demo will allow players to engage in a week of gameplay, meet the residents of Ashen Ridge, break and enter, farm, forage, and maybe even prevent a murder from taking place. The main tenets are an in-game week of play, farming mechanics, as well as fishing, foraging, breaking, and entering, and prevent and decide whether or not to prevent a murder. I like this game. These are games that I play on my Xbox Rock Ally. So again, now, Gungrave Grove, Blood Heat. The original Gungrave, that when it came out, I love the stylistic nature. I love the fact that you had the whatchamacallit on your back, the tombstone on your not the tombstone, the casket on your back. Game was phenomenal for me graphically. All right, so describe your game demo. Gungrave Gore Blood Heat takes the stylish combat of Gungrave Gore to the next level, delivering a more intense dynamic experience beyond simple shooting. Players are encouraged to stay aggressive, build up a gauge through parries, executions, and combos, leading to a powerful demolition shot. Those older games gave you engagement and kept you there. I don't know what happened. Something happened that we fell into the sad dad loop of games where we put the controller down, we watched the screen. That's not the interactive gameplay that I want. That's not the loop that I'm looking for. But that's the loop that kind of took over the industry. And I want to get back to games like Gungrave. I honestly like that stylistic games that look like they are set in a world that is shrouded in mystery, that you want to learn more about the world, as well as the character and the moveset that the characters have. That stuff intrigues me. That stuff makes me want to play. What is this? Valor Mortis? Describe your gameplay demo. Valor Mortis is a first-person action Souls-like from the creators of Ghost Runner. Rise from the death as a former soldier of Napoleon's army, wielding supernatural powers, battling horrifying monsters, and unravel a conspiracy that threatens all of humanity. I want to see it. I want to see what it's about. But this is kind of crazy. All right, Erosion. Your daughter's been kidnapped. Every death costs you a decade. What? Every death. Oh, it's like that fighting game. All right, explore a roguelike open world where your actions reshape the timeline. Join the cult, steal a ride, gamble cheddar, collect hundreds of weapons and abilities, demolish the destructible voxel dungeons. Can you save her before time steals her away. That's wild. All right, don't fret. What is this? He has a tape deck on his back? Sickening. Don't Fret is a first-person survival horror game where you play as Fret, a sentinel guitar trapped in a twisted musical school, survive tense encounters using stealth and combat, solve musical-based puzzles, travel through mind-bending dimensions, and uncover a dark story to learn why you were brought here. And Way of the Woods. Play a short 20-minute glimpse into introducing the deer and the fawn as they stumble into a world that's not theirs. Collect and absorb light, charge up old machines, wash away oil left behind. Way of the Woods has flavors of the old RPGs and adventures wrapped into a fun cinematic third-person game. May not be it for me. This may not be it for me. My arms are longer now. Yo, it's this guy's face and this guy's nose for me. The demo is a game is first level. You're extremely long arm. You must sneak, rob, and slap your way through a train carriage. All right. And then it goes into some stuff like that. So this allows us to have some games that we're going to look at, trust and believe. There's way more games that I'm going to get a chance to see. But knowing games that's going to be there, yeah, I'm super excited for Gungrave. And I'm not going to lie, Animals, Grave Seasons, and Grounded 2. Even though I can play Grounded 2 right now because I'm part of that whole beta stuff. And that stuff means and makes a whole lot of sense to me. Now, what I've been noticing, and I've said it for a long time, that Xbox needs to take Activision Blizzard King's titles and put them to the forefront. And one of the titles that has been on the forefront that has making reoccurring money, even if it's on the Xbox store, the PC, but the PlayStation has seen this title run amok, right? Now, I know you're going to say, well, King, are you for exclusivity or are you against it? When it comes to certain titles, I think certain titles are for the streets. When it comes to core pillar titles, franchise titles, Gears, Halo, Forza, Fable, Perfect Dark, titles like that, that's ours. Keep it. And I'm not even going to say Perfect Dark was born on Nintendo. King, you don't own that. You need to stop that. I paid for you. I own you. But let's keep it real. Diablo is a game that needs to be everywhere at all times. Now, I didn't get a chance to see the launch trailer, and I'm going to watch it live with you guys right now.
On this day, a pilgrim comes to our shores. Let him wash in the waters.
Oh.
It is in our nature to hate, and that is why I've brought you here.
Oh, this is Vessel of the Hatred.
He's a demon. The mainland burns because of him. You're in danger.
Bah! I love Crow. That's wild. I just can't get with the fact that I build my stuff up to lose it at every season.
I am your
paddling. Oh! The Knight of the All Holy. A warlock. See, I was a necromancer. Yo. Oh! What's that? Talisman? Hey, yo. Overhaul endgame war plan? Battle to survive the echoing hatred? Major skill tree updates? All 4 classes? I don't got time for this. Oh, he frozen and broken. Why he was upside down?
I cannot stop his schemes alone.
No, you need me.
Woo! The reckoning is here.
I will make Mephisto pay for this. We both will, my friend. We both will.
They're going up against Mephisto. That's a lot of stuff you get. So, if you're waiting for Vessel of the Hatred, I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't got enough time in this world. I am time poor. I am absolutely time poor. But that looked good. And this is the scores that's been given out. 9 out of 10 from CGM. Game Informer, 8.5 out of 10. IGN at 8. Comic Book gave it a 7. These are the launch times. Now, what's the prices on this? You know, does it go straight to Game Pass? Is it Game Pass? Is this a Game Pass? We just pick up the DLC? Yeah. All right, cool. $40. I salute you, Soldier, legendary Yobi, member for 18 months, Soldier X ranks, peace, love, life, to the general, always respect, big blessings. I appreciate your existence, King, from thy soul to yours. You are very important, my guy. Blessings, I salute you. Magnum Force was good.
At Minimum FRC donated $2 through Super Chat. If it wasn't for Gauntlet, Diablo wouldn't exist.
Facts. But we need a new Gauntlet, man. Elf is about to die. I used to sit in the arcade for hours playing that. And then I got it on, what was it? Was it Atari 5200? Atari 2600, nah. 5200, 7800, yeah. ColecoVision, I think it was on ColecoVision. Yeah, I think so. But anywhere I was able to get a good Gauntlet, it was up. But I always feel that Xbox needs to leverage launches like this with existing franchises. Take a franchise and being that you own them, merge them. One real-time strategy, real-time action, RPG, whatever, first-person shooter, mix it with a driving game, whatever. You leverage your IPs, make them make sense. And apparently, this regime is listening to me. This is brought to you by Xbox Wire and Chelsea Lay. Darkness looks good on Overwatch Heroes in a new collaboration. Overwatch X Hatred's Reckoning is a deliberate clash of hope and darkness that lets both worlds stay true to themselves. 5 new legendary skins reimagine Overwatch Heroes through the sanctuary lenses of hell and chaos. Available April 28th to May 18th, there will also be returning crossover skins and new challenges with Twitch drops through May 10th. Now, this is what they look like. You know, you get a chance to see, well, you know what? Let me zoom in on some of the suits. Now, I don't know any of these characters. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I play Overwatch. But with, what is it? Ramita with Mephisto and Bridget and the paddling. That looks good. Oh, Freya and the Rogue. That looks great. And what do we have here? Lifeweaver and the Warlock. That looks dope. And Mugga and the Druid. He look like a giant teddy bear. That looks fun. I mean, I like stuff like that. I like leveraging IPs. I need Master Chief and Doom Guy to get together, even though they're both first person. Right? So why don't we take what is it? Doom. Let's take Doom Guy and place him in Gears, right? What's the real time strategy? Just put them in Gears. Leverage them. Make them things that make sense. I believe that it's possible, and I believe that everybody would gravitate towards it. Take risks with your IPs. Instead of going outward, look inward, right? Instead of placing titles on other consoles, well, take those titles that you do have, like this title right here, these, and just take that, make an amalgamation, and place it on your platform. So fans that see that's like, yo, I will love that. It's only available here. And if you are down with us, you'll be able to play it, right? Introduce FOMO to individuals that don't have your product, that aren't part of your ecosystem, with collaborations that make sense. This is what needs to be done, opposed to placing it on another competing platform and just doing the basic, easiest things. Now, Asha has been out and they talked about the timeline for the next Xbox. We know it's next year. We know fundamentally next year is when we can start lining up. Now, I know you guys seen the Steam controller out and everybody's giving their review because a lot of people has had it. And yeah, I was wrong on my prediction of the price. I thought it was going to be a premium controller like my Wolverine version 3 Pro from Razer, or my Xbox Elite controller, or the PlayStation's Pulse Elite controller, whatever it's called. I thought it was going to be an Elite controller. Well, apparently it's half Elite. It's $100. And I gave them too much credit. That was my thought process of it. Now, I was going to have my props down here. I was going to have my Steam deck down here to show you it and show you that it does have track pads on it and it does mimic what the Steam controller is. But I was also going to show you the original controller, and then I was going to show you the step up controller to the Steam, because I have all of them. But then I decided it wasn't even worth it, because at the end of the day, the Steam controller being $100, this is going to be a solo endeavor. You're not going to buy 2 Steam controllers. Who are you going to sit there and play with? Be real. Let's be real. Majority of the people is just buying 1 Steam controller with the machine. Now, what sets up a bad precedent is this. The controller comes out with no hardware. And then if you're making the Steam controller a hardware launch in the sense that this is a device that you want to stand on its own, then it stands to reasons the rumors that we've heard about the Steam machine coming with and without a controller is true. Now, the Steam frame doesn't need it because they have specialized controllers for the VR. But if we're looking at the console itself, then the console itself coming without a controller lowers the barrier of entry. Does it lower it to $1,000? And the console with the controller and like a humble bundle package, what are you going to do? What exclusive games do you have to make that platform any way viable? You don't. It's a storefront. It's a closed storefront if you really think about it, because it's not a PC. It's a Steam machine. Now, I know you're going to tell me that the Steam Deck, where you're able to take the Steam Deck and you're able to open it up and to get into the browser aspect of it, to turn it, that's too much. A lot of people ain't technical. So what you want is you just want a Steam machine. You want another closed ecosystem with a storefront. Would I be able to place the PlayStation launcher on it? Would I be able to place GOG on it? Would I be able to place the Epic Store on it? No. So again, you're locked into this closed ecosystem that maybe you got tons of games already. Maybe it works for you. But let's get to the millions of people that don't know who the hell Steam is, don't use it, and don't have a library. And when they do happen to interact with Steam, it's through a powerful PC that they already have the access to. So I think Gabe knows it. I think the controller is the best option into having a higher adoption rate opposed to the machine itself. And I think Steam realizes, Gabe, that this thing is going to be niche at most based upon the price spec. So, and I think the specs is going to be low. I don't think it's going to be as robust as the Project Helix. That brings us to Project Helix. Ashasama explains why Xbox isn't ready to share the release timeline for Project Helix, but dev kits are definitely going out in 2027. This is brought to you by Pure Xbox and my man Fraser Gilbert. If any of you guys see Fraser, tell Fraser the King says what's up. All of these things so we know about this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to just get to the basic crux of it. And I'm going to be seeing my Biggins brother in June. Idle Sloth breaks this news down. He said, Asher Shermer explained how memory shortages will impact Project Helix. All of these things are going into an equation. Memory costs will be impacting pricing. It will impact availability. We'll also think about being where the world plays. And we will take that into consideration. We're not ready to blah, blah. Let's get into this. All the things in my equation, memory costs will be impacting prices, will impact availability. As we think about being where the world plays, we will take this into consideration. We're also not ready to share a launch timeline now. The world's pretty dynamic. My number one focus, though, is to focus on what's in our control. Build a great console, play great games, including your PC games. Now, they have stopped mentioning Steam. And it is forcing individuals to believe that Steam won't be available on your next console. The reason why Steam is not being mentioned, and this is going to be a PC hybrid console, and you will have access to your Windows library, you will have access to your Xbox games, you will have access to GOG, Epic, and Steam. They're not talking about Steam because Steam is a competitor. Steam has put the operating system on ARM chips. It's a reason why the language stops. You're not going to help the competition, even though they're going to be helping you and you will be helping them. But at the moment, you're keeping the focus on you and yours. That's what I was talking about when they said one more thing and Indiana Jones came up at that Jeff Healy, whatever show that was. I think it was Gamescom. We got to start to realize how messaging goes out, why messaging goes out, and why it's important to keep the fan base shielded from unnecessary rakes. And it seems like this administration, I've got to act in terms because she said, her 60-day term, it was crazy, has actually shown that. All I can share now is that we have development kits that are going out next year, and we're working really hard and have a lot to continue to do and to continue to learn. But we're really excited about Project Helix and the initial feedback we're getting. The feedback that they're getting, and she's talking about developers. Now, remember, they're going to have Xbox developers first. Xbox developers first before those development kits go out. So now you're looking at the coalition. You're looking at Ninja Theory. Oh, could you imagine Ninja Theory with a budget and a robust? Oh my God, that's going to be crazy. Halo Studios, InXile, Bethesda. All of them giving you input on what is necessary to make the games that they need to craft. And they're going to come to a baseline. And Jason Ronald and the team is going to get to the point where these games are actually going to start coming out and they're going to start making sense. But Xbox being first is what matters most here. Now, I know y'all guys have been waiting for the back kicking in portion of the show. PlayStation new price hikes. And they're facing being obsolete. PlayStation is facing the long end of the road, walking the green mile. It's crazy. It's green. That's nuts. But we're watching in real time how PlayStation itself is being forced to do things outside of their control. Or is it really in their control? Raising prices again. Does it foster change? Does it foster growth? With Bloomberg asking, who's going to buy that console? What is that console for? What are they trying to do? At the tail end of your console cycle, you're supposed to be trying to get as many people as possible into your ecosystem. But what seems to be happening more so than not is that they're forcing people outside of the ecosystem or the absolute collapse inside the ecosystem. We're introducing DRM, that PlayStation fanboys, bots are trying to say it was a glitch. It is not a glitch. It's not a bug. They introduced DRM into your device, and every game purchased after March 26, you have to have a check-in. Now, of course, you have internet connections, right? We all do. We all log in. This is nothing new. When you turn on your PC, do you think they're not doing licensing checks on the software that you do have there? When you turn on your Xbox, you don't think there's license checks? Any online device has license checks. Your phone has license checks. That's the reason why when you call T-Mobile, Verizon, whoever the hell you call, they can check and see if your phone is unlocked and paid for. It's a privilege. We have lost it all. But realizing that PlayStation has slipped DRM in, and you guys are astute enough to find out, oh, snap, they did this. Now, some had learned at the wrong way, the worst way, that they didn't get a chance to log in for whatever reason, and the games that they purchased wasn't working. That's bad. There should be something associated with that license. But again, that's a way to combat GameStop. Do you remember when GameStop and everybody was so against Xbox with the DRM? And I told you, and that was with the Xbox One, and PlayStation had DRM in place, and they delayed their show by an hour because Microsoft went first and they were ripped apart. The Xbox One generation had a ton of missteps very early on because they was introducing stuff that we're getting now, or we have been used to, but you guys weren't ready, or you didn't want this guy telling you what it was. It's like a lot of people's not accepting of me bringing them the message. They would rather hear it from somebody else, but it's the same message, and you're just going to get it whether you like it or not. PlayStation has quietly rolled back all that DRM that they took out, and they put it right back. This is a very aggressive DRM in the sense that they need you active because they need these monthly active users. This is a way to keep the engagement and monthly active users in place. Even if you don't play your games, they just need you to log in and log on. In order to get that data, in order to bring it to shareholders, to tell the shareholders, look, they're still utilizing our ecosystem. With so-called 80 million or 90 million consoles shipped, how many of those consoles are in circulation being used? That is the bigger question. So with them saying that they have between 2 generations of consoles, monthly active users is only at 125. With knowing that the PlayStation 4 probably reached 120 or 100 million consoles sold or shipped or whatever the hell, with how many variations of the device that was out there, with knowing that the majority of them didn't go over to the PlayStation ecosystem, PlayStation 5. So you can extrapolate from that. You can say at least 60% moved or stayed on the PlayStation 4 while 40% moved over. So you said that 40% went to the PlayStation 5. And let's give them an extra 20% to say those are the adopters that were extra, that was new, that left the Xbox ecosystem and went on to PlayStation thinking they would find greener pastures. Let's say now you got 60% of that so-called ship number on PlayStation 5 as actual users. Well, where the rest of the data? This is a way to weed out and find out the actual numbers. Am I agreeing with it? Hell no. I don't like DRM in any form. Is it a factor of life? It absolutely is. And it's not one PlayStation guy is going to actually be able to tell you this, because all they want to do is console war it. They want to act like it's a bug. It's something like that. It's not a bug. It's a safety measure, if you will. Everything is backed by the dollar, most. And if you're not logging in, then that means you logged off. And if you logged off, that means they can't get data and they can't turn that into cash, even if you're not buying. So even if you purchase one game and you wait and I come back, that game may not work again. And it may not work again based upon the DRM. So they need you in there. They don't care if you're watching Netflix. They don't care if you're watching YouTube. They don't care if you're watching Korn. But they want you on. That's the whole thing. So that's what the DRM stuff was about. And people are finding out if they don't access their consoles in a timely fashion, that they would be locked out. Not saying it's good. Not saying it's smart. Not saying that it's ideal. Definitely not consumer friendly. But at the end of the day, people need to tell it exactly how it is and not how they want it to be. Now, Sony is now raising prices on the PlayStation 5 and the Portal in places of Southeast Asia. That kind of sucks. It's not a bug, it's a tumor. Yo, Talos, you crazy. Console sales are falling now. You're going to have that. We're going to have a conversation May 8th, Talos. We're going to have that console conversation then. Remember, they were down 16% last quarter. I expect that to be 36% this quarter. They're going to blame it on the raising prices and the loss of interest. But remember, they told you before they raised the prices, the week before, they saw a spike in sales. Right? I want y'all to remember that. All right? I want you to remember that, because that's key when I'm coming to report the downfall of what's actually transpiring. But they do have a backup plan. And I believe their backup plan is to go with Netflix. Trust, I believe that's the wave. But I could be blinded by my bias because I've picked Netflix to purchase or to partner with a long time ago. Now, this is brought to you by Tweaktown. And who is the writer? This is Hasim Nassar. Sony is now raising the prices in Southeast Asia on the Portal and the PlayStation 5. The prices increase take effect from May 1st, giving gamers in these regions a few days to grab the PlayStation 5 before prices align with the global levels. Now, a lot of people were thinking that this was a brand new hike. No, what they're doing is leveling everything out across the boards, from launching in the US to the new price that was started in April. May is going to be the global price in the Asian markets, giving them time to catch up. They are in a bind. Because remember, I thought they had stockpiles of this stuff just in case the shortages got out of hand. Apparently, that has not been true. Sony has increased the prices of the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 5 Pro, the portals across Southeast Asia, aligning with the global hikes, effective May 1st. Indonesian PlayStation portal rose 44.5%, while the Philippines and Vietnam saw 30% to 27% increases, respectively, affecting South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines, and Vietnam. This is following recent price hikes in the USA, UK, Europe, Japan. Sony has now announced new pricing for the PlayStation 5 Pro and the portals, of course, across the Southeast Asian markets. These new prices will bring the regions in line with the global pricing and will take effect May 1st, covering everything as far as the PlayStation and digital markets. This is why you have to look at it as they are depressed. And when I'm saying depressed, and I'm talking about feelings, I'm talking about depressed financially as a company. As a company, they're realizing their mortality. We're looking at them in real time and seeing that Sony may not be around much longer in the same capacity as we have been viewing them. This is going to change, and it's going to change. Some people say for the better, some people say for the worse. I say they're going to change to be adaptive. Is it the complete collapse? Will they become the app that I said they will become? Quite possibly. When would it happen? When the handheld comes out. I think the handheld from the PlayStation will see crazy success. And let me explain why. You see how the Steam controller is going to come out ahead of the console? And it could possibly effectively cancel the console if they don't see a market that makes sense. If they don't get the pre-order numbers that is necessary in order to get the return off investment that they need. Developing and manufacturing consoles in this climate is not safe. Where we're going to see this generation last the longest that we've ever seen a generation last. What was it? The 360 and the PlayStation 3 lasted 10 years, 8 to 10 years. I believe that this generation will last longer. Even with the Helix coming out next year. More so because the Helix is coming out next year. With that console being the Alpha Omega and the highest entry point into the series consoles of gaming, price point will dictate it be prohibitive. So with the Series S being the entry level to get in, and Game Pass, the lower tier that's on Discord, to be the retainership, they already pretty much set their future. Not solely relying on Helix. The PlayStation future is not set, but I can see a way in which it is. Where you have PlayStation guys running around screaming path tracing on the PSSR and all this wild gobbledygook. The PlayStation 5 Pro has always been a capable machine. Sony has just been slow to give you updates to something that it's already able to do. All of this stuff has been software updates into the PlayStation 5 Pro. And they have paywalled it behind a $1,000 machine, which gives you gradual updates. So you seeing that this gradual updates to this machine, and you think that the PlayStation 6 will come in cheaper. No, it has to come in greater than. The PlayStation 5 was greater than the PlayStation 4 Pro, right? Did it launch at the PlayStation 4 Pro price? No. It launched greater than. It had to show value. So look at the current price of the PlayStation 5 Pro. Then you can think about what the PlayStation 6 would be. I honestly believe that Sony don't want to be in that region. I think the handheld needs to sell the way that it's going to sell. Now, it's going to be time for me to jump into my little costume because it's time to get into my Pika Pika mode. Now, I had thought about different ways of doing this. I thought about breaking down the stream and having you guys come back as I change into my costume, which will make more sense. Let those people that want to see me play Pokemon, see me play Pokemon. Let those individuals that were just here for the show, let it go. But this is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, The King. Now, if you saw anything that you liked today, I go live Monday through Friday, with Friday being a special day, where it's Fight Night Fridays. And on Fight Night Fridays, you can see this goal right here. We're trying to get to Guilty Gear Strife bundle package. If that to get funded by the end of this week, I'll pick it up on Friday. Then we'll be playing Guilty Gear while we also playing Street Fighter. I loved how everybody came through for Street Fighter. We had the link to the Discord in the chat. Anybody's able to jump in. Don't think just because you're not a member, you can't jump in and have fun. I'm here for you like the same way you're here for me. So understand we're on this road to doing this together. Hit the likes, follow, sub. The likes mean the most. If you're here, just hit the like button. Hype up the video if you like. The like doesn't cost you a damn thing, but it means a lot to getting to reach out to everybody else. But I'm going to do what you should be doing. I'm going to go with game is game and win is win. But I'm also going to be playing some Pokemon. So I'm going to tell you to try to play the Game Pass, but you know I'll be playing some Switch too in a second. And I'm going to dress up in my Pokemon suit and y'all guys going to get that fun. But I've told you before that no one has a better intro or outro than I do. And if you think so, then put them up.
What's a man or a king? Response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no wriggling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, knock Grammys from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? Response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?